Hello, my name is Doug, and I've spent the last 26 years of my life being a professional trader. And today, I've got a challenge for you. If you can give me 20 minutes or so of your time, I will do my very best to make you the most absolute savage trader that you can be. A vicious, confident, unbreakable profit machine. Now, before you accept that challenge, I want you to know something. I'm not going to sit up here and tell you this new age alpha guru stuff. I'm not going to tell you that the key to trading success is getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, shouting out affirmations, writing gratitude journals, taking ice cold baths, and cranking on the charts. No, I'm talking about defeating the greatest enemy that you will ever have as a trader. The only enemy that has ever kept you from obtaining anything that you've ever wanted. You. I'm talking about dominating your fears, your impulses, your ego, and that tiny little voice in your head that keeps sabotaging every great trading opportunity that ever comes your way. And if that's what you want to defeat, this is the video for you. So in today's video, I'm going to give you the exact blueprint that you need to become a savage trader. The exact same blueprint that I used that took me from a soft, little weak paper doll trader who was always chasing, who was always afraid and always emotional and always losing money into a consistently profitable 7-figure-a-year trader. And by the time this video is over, you'll know exactly what you need to do to fix the problems that you have. So how about we get started today? So for today's video, we're going to go over two types of savageness, mental savageness and trading savageness. And I'm going to share with you what exactly I did to conquer both of those areas, starting with mental savageness. Now, here's where we need to begin. You will never become a consistently profitable trader for the long term until you understand one simple thing, that trading is and always will be about you and you only. You can't do this for the kids, for the spouse, because you'd like to have millions of dollars or because you'd like to prove your haters wrong. Now, that type of thinking and goal setting will give you some short bursts of momentum, but it won't stay with you for the long term. You will only do this for the long term when you reach an emotional point where the pain of living the way that you're living right now far outweighs the pain of failing to improve. Only then, when you hit that emotional rock bottom, will the light go off in your head and you will level up and take the steps necessary. This was exactly what had to happen to me to make the transition from complete loser into winner. Now, I would like to take this moment to share that story with you. And I kind of want to just say this out loud because it's pretty embarrassing for me to do this on camera. It's a story I've not told. And it's a story that's very emotional. And I might get emotional while I'm telling it, but I feel based on the way this video is going, this is what I'm talking about. And this is what you need to know. So it was December of 2004. And I decided to go see my parents for the Christmas holiday. And I was going to stay until the beginning of January. You know, the good old rest and reset, recharge my batteries. Now, I want you to understand up to this point, the first 4.5 years of my trading career from 1999 up to that point were pretty freaking horrible. I mean, really horrible. Not only did I blow through all of my money, blew through so many accounts, I had reached this very deep, dirty, dark place in life where I was so depressed that, I was losing a lot of weight. I wasn't sleeping. I was just going down the wrong path. And I'm 36 years old and I just got a really bleak looking future. And I can remember being on the plane flight to see my parents, and I'm writing down all these bullshit trading goals for 2005. And I say bullshit because I wrote the same damn goals down in 2004, which was reminding me, dude, you didn't accomplish crap for a whole 2004. What makes you think in 2005 you stand a chance of getting at least one of these off the list? None. But somehow I'm in this delusional space that, I don't know, maybe this time is a little bit different. I don't know. Anyway, about 1.5 weeks into this trip, I bump into a friend at a local Walmart. I hadn't seen this guy in a long time. And he proceeds to just tell me how fantastic his life is. He's showing me pictures of his new home that he just built, of his family, and they're traveling around the world doing scuba diving. He's telling me all about his job promotions and just kind of going through all of these photos. Now, understand this is before we had like Instagram and everybody had cameras on their cell phones. He's showing this stuff to me in a book. And as he's having this conversation, I know you guys have been in something similar. You start to feel that burn just coming right up your chest. I remember feeling that burn, and the one that kind of makes your lower lip quiver. And I'm doing everything I can to hold it together. And I'm just nodding. Oh, that's great. Oh, yeah, that's great. How are you? He would say, oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I just wanted this conversation to be over. As soon as it was over, I just made a mad dash to my rental car. I drove right around the corner. I took a quick peek to make sure no one was looking. And I totally had a breakdown. I'm talking about hyperventilating, the tears, the snot. I mean, everything was just flowing. I just letting years of frustration spill out everywhere. And it's not because I was jealous of my friend, because I was not. I was really, really happy. I was hurting so bad because life was passing me by. And somewhere deep in there, I just knew I was better than this, man. I just kind of knew, even though I was working really hard at trading, I knew I was leaving something on the table. I just knew I was better than this. I knew I was being a baby, a whiner, a complainer. I just knew it. And I don't know what the trigger was, but instantly I just drove right back to my parents' house. I walk in the door. I'll never forget it. I said, I got an emergency. I got to go home. And I went right back that day. Immediately, the next flight back, I went home. I didn't wait till the beginning of the year. Something in me just snapped. And when I got back, I went right to work. And before the end of December, I had the biggest profit month ever, during the holiday, mind you, of 2004. By the first 4 months into 2005, I had already erased 4 years of senseless, stupid losses that I had been taking. And before 2005 was over, I had quit all of my side gigs. All of my future prospects went 100% into trading, and I've never looked back since. And the reason I want to tell that story today is because I didn't do that because I wanted a new car, millions of dollars. I didn't want to prove my haters wrong. I wanted to prove to myself that I was somebody, that I could do it. I did it for me and no one else. I mean, I certainly had reasons before to do it, but I could never just ball up and do it. It needed to get to that moment for me to just click that light bulb and do it. Now, here's the very first thing that I did that made that shift for me. One of the first things I did was create an alter ego or a superhero name. Now, if you look around, it may sound crazy, but if you look around the internet, most people in a forum have some sort of tag, right? Like Joe Trader, Mike Trader, some are more extravagant than others, but sort of like a superhero name. But it's not somebody there to just shout affirmations at you, like a drill sergeant. For me, it was somebody to reinforce my poor beliefs, where Doug would come up with an excuse. I don't know. I'm afraid this trade won't work. My alter ego would say, dude, none of your trades are working. What's the difference? Right? I'm afraid I might fail. My alter ego, you are failing, man. What do you look around you, man? Get with it. And it was there to back up all my data, all my statistics. You can do it. You will do it. You are a survivor. What's the worst thing that can happen? So create this sort of alter ego or some image to put you in this position to where you can break the weaknesses that you have. Because understand, we're all scared, man. We're all scared when we do this. Trading is scary, right? There's a lot of doubt. I still have doubts, but you need that thing. That was like my mentor before my mentor. It was there to hold me together, to help me just realize that I wasn't as bad as I thought I was, and I needed to stop those excuses. Now, the next thing I did to increase my mental savageness was take a moment to truly understand what it means to be a trader. Now, that may sound easy on the surface, but it's actually more complex than we think. And here's what I did. I took a moment to understand remember, it's all about you. Where do I fit in this huge bubble, mechanical, moving, monstrous market? Like, where do I fit in? What is my specialty? And where can I find an edge that I can use within this whole entire mess? And once I realized that I don't need to know everything about everything to be a successful 7-figure a year trader, it was such a burden lifted off of my shoulders. I don't have to know everything. Because when I was first starting out, I just consumed all kinds of knowledge. I listened to earnings reports. I read all kinds of articles all day. And I was just stacking all this info in my head, but none of it was actionable. In fact, it just confused me. And I think for most of us, we'd like to keep it as simplistic as possible. But here's also what I mean. Let's say, for example, I'm just trying to get $1 out of a Tesla move, whether that move is up or down, $1 per share. That's it. And I can go 5 to 10,000 shares on that move, and I can capture a $1 move in 15, 20 minutes, make 5, 10,000 bucks. Okay. What do I need to know to achieve that? Do I need to sit and listen to the Tesla conference call? Do I need to know their business model, when they're releasing their cars, what their car sales are? Do I need to go online and chat with the Tesla bro about the good and the bad and the future prospects? No, I am not an investor. I'm a trader. If I short sell that move and hedge that it's going to go lower, does that mean I hate Tesla? No. If I buy it, does that mean I love Tesla? No. I'm just a little squirrel trying to get a nut, grab my piece of the pie in this whole entire market. The thing is, once I was able to do that and understand what I needed and what I didn't need, about 90% of everything I had studied for 4 years was wasted. It was no good to me. I had to come up with something that was clean, and we'll talk about that when it comes to trading related. But that's what I'm saying about understanding what your role is as a trader. If I'm just going to be in a trade for 30 minutes, I mean, really, what do I need to know? I don't need to know much, right? I just need to be the specialist of that one little tiny area, like I said in my last video, hammer on that edge until the end of time. That's all you need to be able to do. Now, the next savage shift that I had was I truly got to that moment in life where, for a lack of a better phrase, I stopped giving an AF. I really just stopped giving an AF. I just didn't care anymore. All I focused on was what I could control and what I could not control, and just forgot about stressing over the things I couldn't control. So what I can control every day is I can control what it is that I trade. I can control when I decide to take a trade and how much risk I want to put on that trade. But no matter what happens, once I've made that trade and I've pushed the button, I'm now at the mercy of the market. And I've learned that anything can happen at any time. And I'm just vulnerable there. And there's a lot of things that have to go my way, and I really have to do my best to manage that trade. But all I can do is focus on me. I can't worry about tweets. I can't worry about weird stuff going on in the world. I don't have any control over that. I just have control over me and what it is that I do really well. Also, not giving an AF went in terms of me becoming comfortable with who I am and comfortable in my skin. I stopped caring whether somebody thought day trading was gambling. I didn't care if somebody thought I was going to fail. I no longer felt the need to validate myself to anyone. Again, all I cared about was just trying to figure out what Doug is going to do right here and now. What was the best move for Doug to make right now based on all the current situation? Anything outside of that just didn't become any of my concern. Now, this is much difficult for you guys now because you have social media. I mean, we had a little bit of that back in the day there with some forums, but now you just scroll through Instagram or Twitter. Look, you got people in supercars, mansions, models, and bottles thing. Come on now. Look, just because you're a successful trader and you make millions, you don't have to buy a supercar. That's not a requirement for successful trading, just like ice baths are not a requirement. It's not going to make you successful. You are who you are. I also said that in my last video. But for me, it was understanding I don't have anything to prove to anybody. I don't have to be a millionaire to be a successful trader. I just want to be a trader and make money to pay bills and live a comfortable life on my own terms. That's it. That's where it started from. The millions would come after that. But you have to be able to do that. Again, it's hard for you. So what I would suggest, I know everybody's got some doubt, some haters, and people are always going to come after you. Look, there's just nothing you can ever do. Be comfortable with who you are. That's why I keep hammering that statement. You are who you are. You are good at something that you do. There's a spot for you in the market. Just get up every day and focus on what it is that you need to do right now. Unplug the social media. Most of the stuff that's being passed around is just not actionable, and you know it as well as I do. You don't need to compare yourself to someone. You're special the way that you are. You can move at your own pace. Just focus on yourself and things are going to be okay. Now let's get to the second part, the good part. What did I do in terms of trading to help me become a savage trader when it came down to pushing the button? And I'm going to call this section like the series of ones, because I broke everything down in my trading business to ones, starting with something I call the 1-1-1 method. It's one long idea, one short idea on the same one asset. So every day I would trade just one asset, but I would focus on one long idea and one short idea. And here's what I would do. I would draw out what a long would look like, the ideal long, the ideal setup. So where it was sitting, I would draw, if it does this, moves around here and does it, I'll buy it. If it moves like this and does this, I'll sell it. And that's where I started. But here's the thing. As long as the chart was very similar to what I drew, I would take the trade. If it got to the level that I was looking for in the first place, I would take the trade. If those two things line up, no indicators, right? No candlesticks, just if it looked like that, I would take the trade. If it didn't, I would not. Also, I came up with this one trade method, not just in terms of just one asset, one trade. I've gone over that. And I tell people in our live community this all the time. This was big. The mentality from saying, if my brokerage account was to give me just one trade a day, you get one trade, we shut you off after that. Is the trade I'm ready to take the very best trade I can take now? Or should I wait? Trust me here, you will be extremely surprised at what your answer is. Now, what this helped me do was not take a trade for the sake of taking the trade. So instead of me going to trades, trying to make things happen, I started to allow the market to come to me, to give me what I wanted, or I wouldn't trade. I got to a point where I don't want to trade. Talk me into something. Show me something that's just so damn good. I've got to take this trade and I got to do it now. I just cannot pass, right? Again, you'd be surprised of the mentality that comes down to that. The next thing is something I have spoke quite a bit, which has probably become my creed. If I was to draw a trading family crest, the words I.E.M would be on that crest, which stand for idea, execution, and management. And there are two humongous parts of this that were game-changing for me. One is every great trade has to have this. You create the idea to buy or sell or whatever that idea is. The more important part is how does one execute such idea? Again, drawing out what my formations were, looking at my levels. This is what I need to see to execute this idea, because an idea is worthless if you have poor execution. I mean, we've all had good ideas that we sabotage from very poor execution. Am I right? So you can ruin a great opportunity if it's not executed properly. However, management is even far more important because, as I mentioned earlier, once we push the button, we're now at the mercy of the market. Anything can happen at any time. And constantly, I need to be paying attention. Does this idea continue to be validated? As long as it's validated, I'll keep it. If it's not, the moment it's not validated and the idea no longer is valid, I must leave the trade. It's pretty simple than that. Obviously, it's much easier said than done, but that's the principle. The other principle that the I.E.M theory provided for me was, if you're not making money right now, you can find exactly where your problem is by reviewing each one of those, starting with your idea. Was this the best idea that I could have come up with? Was this just a A+ quality idea? Yes or no? Did I execute that idea to the best of my ability? And the last, did I manage it well? Now, as somebody who's been around a lot of traders, I can tell you that the majority of traders suffer in the management category. They're great ideas that they executed well. They get rid of too soon. They find a way to sabotage and get themselves out of it. Happens all the time. I get it, right? Most traders don't come up with bad ideas. They screw up execution. They wait too long to get in. They wait for too many signals of confirmation, leaving them at undesirable places with huge risks and very, very little rewards. So I.E.M was major for me, and I still live by this creed, and I teach everyone this creed every single day. Now, in this video, I'm not going to talk strategies. And some of you may say, why are you not going to talk about the strategy you use? And here's why. Being around for 26 years has afforded me the luxury of meeting thousands of traders. And I'm not undercutting that number, thousands. I've been all over the world. I've taught hedge fund traders, institutional traders, prop firm traders, one-on-one traders, and I have literally seen just about every imaginable strategy work for an individual. I've seen it. I've seen people make some pretty wild stuff work. But here's what I've also realized. No matter who I've ever met, I'm talking 10-figure earner style, right? Millionaire traders, super millionaire traders, down to just regular earning traders. I've never met anyone who is more than 80 to 85% win rate over the long term. Not even close. So no matter what a trader does or what strategy they use, there's still 20 to 30% of everything that you touch. If it's an all A plus numero uno setups, still 30% of them are probably not going to work, no matter what you do, because that's the randomness of the market. So as long as you've got something in your possession right now that's close to 60, 55, 60, that's good enough in terms of the idea portion. You got enough. What you need to do is make sure you're executing it. You don't need to throw the system away. You just need to rehash it, reapproach it. Make sure your execution is good. Make sure you're managing it well. You're already, if you're above 50% practically, you're good enough to make money. You just need to do those small things and become the savage and do the best that you can. So anyway, guys, I'm going to leave the video right there. I hope that all of these lessons that we put together give you the true meaning of what it's like to be a savage trader. Remember, trading it's a journey. It's a body of work. You've got to go through each one of these barriers step by step. But if you remain savage and you do this for you and you only, and you focus on what is in your best interest, not mine, not somebody else's. You don't worry about somebody else. You worry about you. You do it for you, like we said in the beginning, because the pain of where you are now, you're just disgusted. And it's okay to be disgusted with yourself. I was too. That pain is just too much, right? You will die that way. You got to make a change, and you got to do it now, but you got to do it for you. As always, guys, thanks for watching this video. I want to remind you real quick, if you're looking to level up your trading, become savage, my wife and I have just opened up our brand new squad training room. I put the link right down there in the description. Every single day, I'm getting absolutely savage on the camera, live, in the room, making real trades, showing you exactly the entire process from top to bottom. If you want to learn more about that, the link's down below. On that note, take care, trade well. Thanks for watching, and cheers.